It is mainly talking about how we enable, enrich, and empower the teachers. And why are we talking about this? Is because if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. This is what John Dewey has said. Aside, learning is changing. The learning from the student side is changing as we speak. More so when we talk about the disruption that happened last year and the disruption which is COVID-19. In a way, there has been some good changes that it has brought about in the way education is being imparted. Learning is changing, and the whole lot of other aspects that it brings about when we talk about teaching, when we talk about learning, and when we talk about education. So what is it that is changing? It is the place-based learning, which was mainly the school and the college, and the space and pace-based learning which has changed. The place from school and college is replaced by the homes. We are all learning sitting at home. Teachers are teaching from home. So my place has changed. The space and pace at which we are learning has also changed. I need my own space to know, to learn, to explore what I'm interested in. And I have my own pace, not necessarily that I can learn the same things at a faster pace than my friend. Well, I can't be the same because I'm different. Well, every child is different. Every individual is different. So is the learning. And this is what blended learning is all about. So blended learning has taken the center stage from last year. Not that it wasn't there before this, not that it was not getting implemented prior to this, but from last year onwards, this has become more prominent. This has become very, very evident. And that is where enabling, enriching, and empowering the teachers, the educators comes into existence. More so because of the changes that are happening. While we have the challenges, we also need to ace the challenges. And this slide of mine would talk about acing the challenges. And what are they? The ACE is an acronym for the 3 A's that needs to be addressed in the first place: accessibility, availability, and affordability. I need to have accessible knowledge. I need to have accessible information. I need to have accessible topics, chapters, concepts, whatever need be, which are age appropriate for the teacher to be provided to the student. It has to be made available in whatever ways possible. We can talk about physical, we can talk about digital, we can talk about online, we can talk about offline, but the bottom line is it needs to be affordable. India is a country which is value conscious. It's not cost conscious, it is value conscious. So affordability is something that needs to be at the bottom of every aspect, everything that we do. Education is no exception. We also need to look at the 3 C's, which is mainly the capacity building, the capability building, and the competency building. Now, capacity building is not just about infrastructure. Capacity building is about building beyond just the infrastructure. It is more to do with a lot of other things than just the infrastructure of the building or the IT infrastructure or the classrooms and stuff like that. Added to that, your capability building and competency building. I will go into little more details about the 3 C's. That would lead to enabling, enriching, and empowering the teachers, the educators, and in turn, the students. So why are we even talking about all this? We're talking about all this is because the entire school education curriculum will be reoriented to develop holistic learners and develop in learners the higher order skills of critical thinking, creativity, logical deduction, collaboration, teamwork, social responsibility, multilingualism, quantitative reasoning. Oh well, I had to read this out because this is part of the national education policy. It is also mentioned that it needs to be interactive and fun classrooms where questions are encouraged. Well, seldom do we see that questions are encouraged in a classroom. Teachers are the ones who are entitled to ask the questions and not the students. The responsibility of the students is to answer the question and not ask question. That has been the way in which mostly education is being delivered. I'm saying education. Yeah, I'll talk about this. And encourage not just asking questions, but be creative, collaborative, and exploratory activities for deeper and more experiential learning. Well, as part of national education policy, these are some of the guidelines. These are some of the things that we need to start focusing as educators. Well, let's go a little forward. It also talks about reducing the curriculum load in each subject to its essential core content, which is basically the concept, in order to make space for more holistic, experiential, discussion-based. Now look at that, discussion, the debates, and analysis-based learning. When we talk about analysis, it's all about reasoning, it's all about asking questions. Ask this to yourself, keeping your hand on your heart. As a teacher or as an educator, how many of us actually encourage discussion-based, analysis-based, and query-based, question-based learning in our classrooms? Very few. Well, even if we want to do it, probably there is something lacking that we don't do it. So that's when this is needed. And that's why we are talking on this most important subject, wherein there needs to be an interconnection between lot of subjects, chapters, and concepts around us, not just have blinkers of saying it is science, it is mathematics, it is arts, it is humanity. No, I need to have all of them combined together. That is what is going to come in the years ahead of us. Look at that. They're saying on page 79, they're saying there will be no hard separation between arts and science stream or between academic and vocational. So there is a lot of cross-pollination that would happen between academics and vocational. Vocational is basically the skills. What is the point in I learning something about angle of refraction, angle of reflection, if I don't know where I will use it? What is the point in learning a particular theorem or a concept of mathematics without knowing why am I even learning this? So that is where the academics and vocational together will play a role.